Search Hawaii, where food meets culture, is brought to you by Ulupono Initiative, investing in a more sustainable Hawaii, and Grand Wailea, a Waldorf Astoria resort on Maui.
Mike Lofaro, and I'm from Block Island, Rhode Island.
Kainoa Horcajo from the island of Maui.
I'm a professional chef.
I'm a student of the culture. Mike and I met at the Grand Wailea working and just hit it off.
I love anything that has to do with the oceans.
Love spending time in the mountains, getting into the ocean, all of it.
Kainoa had this great idea to do some dinners based on the Kaulana Mahina. I thought it was an awesome idea.
We went on adventures up into the mountain, down to the ocean, and really just started connecting with that.
So I do what I do, Kainoa does what he does, and see how that translates to a plate.
Guided by the moon, but with a modern twist.
It's the ultimate way to connect to the food.
It's a coming together of food and culture.
Mike and Kainoa came from Maui here to the island of Oahu. They're whipping up a meal out of ingredients they gathered here on island. And I guarantee you'll be surprised at one of the ingredients they found growing right here on island.
So the first thing when we get to Oahu, we get out of the traffic, we get over to the windward side, and I take Mike to Kualoa, where there's some great things going on over there, and I get to talk to him about where we are right now with the moon calendar. Yeah, bro, so now we're in the month of Hilina Ma, right? So sometimes the last month or the second to last month of the year, also known as Mahoi Hope, the second twin, alternates between windy trade wind, dry summer weather, and damp, wet winter weather. And so it goes back and forth. The ocean, you know, like you can see, it's all messed up right now. It's all muddy, a lot of flash floods, right?
So, I mean, you think about it, I mean, obviously they dealt with this in old times. So what was kind of what was one of the things that they would go do?
That was one of the functions of the local ia, of the fish ponds, right? They acted as living refrigerators for the people. So what's nice during this time is that in traditional times, we'd use the local ia. We'd use these natural refrigerators, these natural living storehouses of food. And in Kualoa, they have Moli fish pond. Not only are they raising and harvesting fish, but they actually have oysters now. We've got somebody set up over there. Get in, grab some oysters, see how they do everything. Should be really cool.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, man, let's go.
Let's go.
Windward side of Oahu was known for a lot of fish ponds like Heia, but Moli'i is the longest actual running fish pond in the Hawaiian Islands.
Oh, hey, aloha. How's it?
Good, how you doing?
Good, good.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Hey, aloha.
Nice to meet you.
Kui down there is kind of the Oyster Maiden, as she calls herself. So, you know, this whole dinner we're doing based on the Hawaiian moon calendar. Really excited we heard about the oysters, so thank you for having us here and showing us what you got going on in these crazy looking cages.
Yeah, so we grow our oysters out in these cylindrical, floating, suspended culture.
You know, it's kind of at first you're like, wait a second, this is kind of weird. You know, you always associate oysters with cold water. But then, you know, from what Kainoa has taught me is that Pearl Harbor was oysters.
Pearl Harbor was known for having pearls, was known for having oysters, was known for having different types of shellfish. Oftentimes we only think about opihi, but there were all these different varieties of shellfish and mussels that we had access to in traditional times.
Let's go on the boat and go get some for your dinner.
That'll be awesome. We're jumping on this guy?
Yes.
All right. She gets Mike and I into their boat, and Ikaika's driving us out over Moli'i, and you've got Kanehoalani, the big mountain, and all of Kualoa, Ahupua'a there, and you're just cruising out. I mean, it's a really magnificent place.
Simple little slip knot. And then bring it on up. Oh yeah, only only couple on this one. We bring in another basket here. Oh, there you go, a little bit more. Oh, that should make a good dinner.
Kui and Mike and I, we get to go over the side and pull these baskets up. From there, we take them back onto land, back onto the dock.
All right, yeah, just bring them up to the table over here, guys.
We get them up, dump them on a tray, and basically wash them down.
Okay, there you go.
Spray them with water, clean them up, and then start traying them up all nice, cup down in a rack.
Lay them right next to each other with flat side up, cup down.
She's got this particular method of arranging them, and I'm moving at snail speed compared to Mike.
Mike, you're kicking my butt, man. This is like plating up a dish. You're fast.
It's touches, bro, plate touches.
And Mike's just dropping them down there, getting them all arranged, cup down, valve up, and in perfect order like he's plating up 100 dishes.
Oh, Mike, these look awesome. What are you thinking?
Man, I'm thinking nothing's better than just like ice cold oyster, you know, just shucking them, a good mignonette.
What's a mignonette?
Mignonette, like just basically like vinegar. It's like a seasoned vinegar.
Now we're getting fancy. I like it.
Yeah, well, just a little bit fancy.
Okay, a little small kind fancy. We get them all into this tray in particular order, and then Kui has us hapai this thing, has us carry this thing over into the cleaning tank, the purging tank. I'm ready to eat these things right away, but I guess it's kind of like what I related to was picking prawns in the stream. Is when you pick prawns, you can eat prawns right away, but it's better we throw them in the aquarium, they filter out and they taste better after a couple days. So they do the same thing. They throw them in this tank, they let them filter for 48 hours, and then they're ready for eating.
Well, we'll be excited to grind these things when it comes time.
Wonderful. Always a pleasure to share it with you guys.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
See you in a couple days.
Thank you.
Awesome. Mahalo.
Mahalo.
So now the oysters gotta sit and clean for 48 hours. So I figure it's time we go take Mike up. We go mauka, and I think the ulu is in season right now. Meet with some friends over there.
And so we're like, Kui, thank you so much. We gotta go, and we're out of there.
We started the journey in Oahu by going Makai, so now we're gonna go Mauka and go to this amazing place called Papahana Kuaola.
Niu Valley lele.
When we enter a new place, it's important from a cultural perspective to enter right. And so when we enter Kualoa, Papahana Kuaola, we're able to stop and Mike and I do a short oli kahea to call out to the people of that place. And then Kaipo's on the other side to receive us.
Hey, mahalo nui Kaipo.
It's beautiful. It's one of those things that the more I go through it, I'm like, wow, this is such a beautiful process.
Oh, this place is beautiful, man.
Yeah, definitely came a long way.
You guys did a lot of work here.
Yeah, it's been a 10-year process.
It's in the Ili'aina of Waipau, in the Ahupua'a of He'eia, and they are in a huge process of moving invasive plants back and restoring the traditional taro patches, the sweet potato patches, and traditional agriculture in that area. They're bringing kids there, they're bringing families, community, and really teaching everybody about Hawaiian culture, about the moon calendar, and about traditional agriculture.
Okay, so this is our little mala of olena.
Well, this is a big olena patch.
Yeah,
Nice.
you can see the poor olena blooming right now, and then right now olena is in season.
This is the turmeric.
Yeah, the
Mike.
turmeric.
Okay.
The turmeric root.
So I know that, you know, in traditional it had a lot of medicinal uses, but for me, you know, it's ginger family plant, so I'm smelling it, I'm rubbing it, I'm like, okay, I'm getting ginger notes off of it.
You thinking we can use some of this for the dinner?
Absolutely, man. I think like ulu, I'm thinking, you know, ulu and coconut and turmeric.
Ooh.
Like stew action would be killer.
Wow.
Would be really good.
So we see the olena, we're walking along, and then there's a bunch of mamaki. And mamaki is a great plant used a lot in teas. And it's beautiful mamaki, yeah?
Yeah.
It's interesting variety. This one real light, yeah? And,
Yeah.
not purple.
Yeah, Oahu varieties tend to
Oahu
differ
variety.
from other outer island varieties.
So yeah, good for tea,
Yeah, good for tea.
but puts you to sleep.
So Kainoa and I have seen mamake before in kind of some of our adventures. So it's cool. I'm glad I'm actually going to be able to get to make some mamake tea and try it.
Oh, a beautiful ulu tree.
Yeah, this is one of our ulu trees, 1 out of 7.
So then we walked up to an ulu tree grove. I think there was about 7 trees in the grove, and Kaipo's telling us that these are actually pre-contact ulu trees, which is amazing. So it's like perfect. We're going to use some for our dinner.
Okay, Mike, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna climb up, and then hopefully I'll be able to find a spot and just drop it down to you. Pick a couple and just drop them down, just catch them.
I can see Kainoa's eyes are all big, and his tail's wagging a little bit and stuff, and he's like, okay, Kainoa's got to climb a tree. So up he goes.
You can see some real big ones way up top high, and yeah, I grew up in the mountains. I grew up climbing trees.
All right, bro. There it is. And then the next thing you know, he's up on top of the tree, and you're like, damn, homeboy can climb a tree. You know, so he's gone up there, and he's already like, hey, I'm ready. Start throwing down ulu.
Oh, Mike, you ready?
Ready, bro.
Okay, here we go. Oh, nice catch, Mike.
Mike's got it. He's a Yankees fan, so he's got baseball down. He can catch an ulu.
Good. We get enough ulu. We're done playing treehouse for the day. Kainoa comes down, and then I'm like, dude, let's go. We're gonna go down. We're going down to the ocean now. We're gonna go get some limu.
Yeah, mahalo. And you gonna join us for dinner, right?
Yeah. Can't wait to see what you guys.
Justice, bro.
Yeah,
Doing justice.
yeah. Let's see what you guys cook up with this. Should be ono.
Awesome, bro.
Yeah, mahalo.
We've been hustling, working, searching all day, and we're gonna go meet up with Chris, who's gonna talk to us about limu in Maunalua Bay. But we're able to get some one-mans from a friend, and we just decide, we'll just go kick back for a little bit.
So now my tail's wagging. I'm all excited. I'm like, dude, let's go. We gotta go. There's some waves breaking outside.
There were some quirks with these particular canoes that revealed themselves a little more when we got into the waves.
He had the one with the busted rudder. I gave him the bad one, man. I apologize. Hey, Chris, aloha.
Hey, aloha, guys.
We got to spend some time having fun out there on the ocean, but it was time to get back to work. So we paddle in and meet up with Chris, who's doing work on limu in Maunalua Bay.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it, bro? Yeah,
Good,
thank you for
good.
coming. Mahalo, bro.
Thanks for coming down and meeting us.
Sure. So, we're at Maunalua Bay here, and this area is Kualoa Ranch, and it's where the kapu system was broken. This whole area right here was fed by natural spring, so the punawai.
One of the things Chris brought up in Maunalua was that people would actually drink from what looked like the ocean. And he had this old picture of a horse drinking from the ocean. And it's because of all of the freshwater springs that seep out right over there.
This was intensively used to cultivate fish. The heart of that is the fresh water. When the silt from up Mauka came down, it really affected the near shore, and they started seeing limus that they had never seen before. So this is gorilla ogo, and this has replaced a lot of the limu that used to be here. I mean, it's taking over the reef, but it's also a food. It was brought here for food.
We're gonna find lots of this stuff probably.
Yeah,
This
so
is everywhere.
let's eat it. Let's make use of it.
We'll do our part.
Traditionally, there were tons of native limu, but now the gorilla ogo has really taken over. The good thing about gorilla ogo is that it is edible. And so we are able to go out there and gather some gorilla ogo. like the gorilla ogo that we're going for covered by non-edible invasives. All this junk.
Mudweed and stuff in there.
Yeah, all this mudweed in the hypnea. It's like, but then it's all junk, but at least we can eat this stuff, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. That gorilla ogo just like grabs stones and all sand and everything, so you really gotta clean it good. It's invasive, but it's a resource and it's nutritious, and so hey, I'm gonna use it.
All right, man. You think we got enough?
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, let's do it, bro. We got people coming.
It's good cooking.
All right, man. We got to go all around the island, got to gather some oyster, some ulu, some mamaki, and now some limu. And then, but we got to get cooking. So it's our time's almost up. We head up to a friend's house and get into the kitchen, and Mike starts working his magic. Nice, man.
Yeah.
We got the oysters, got the limu.
Got the ulu.
And the olena we got from Kaipo at Papahana Kuaola.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Ooh, I'm making a mess already, man.
Oh, that's good. You just made a new combo right there, bro.
Bam. All right.
It's a dish. It's done.
I'm gonna get out of your way.
First, you gotta shuck oysters, bro.
Oh, okay. Mike has got to do the actual chefing, and I get, you know, the dirty work.
What's going on, bro? What you doing out there?
Good, man. I'm going. You know, we're getting the oyster shucked. Kind of slower than you, probably.
That's right. I got hundreds more
Okay.
for you to do, so you're gonna be a pro by the end.
Practice makes perfect.
You're good. Looks good. I got some really good ulus kind of on the whole spectrum of ulu, you know, ripe and then kind of a little bit underripe. Riper ulus is gonna be sweeter. So that is an ulu that I'm gonna use for dessert. And green obviously means it's a little bit more underripe. So this is gonna be an ulu that we're gonna use for our vindaloo. So you're just basically gonna cut off the top, you're gonna trim the bottom, and then we're basically just gonna skin it. And then you just quarter it. Cut them into chunks at that point. All right, so in this pot we have kind of our ulu vindaloo. So we have chicken thigh, we have Rosa Bianca eggplant, we have our ulu, and some tamarind, and then some gram masala spices. So that's like cinnamon, cumin, coriander, cardamom, kind of like basic curry spices, turmeric. And we're just gonna let that simmer for about 45 minutes. So we have our gorilla ogo here. This stuff likes to hold dirt, it likes to hold sand. You really gotta clean it good. We're gonna really wash it, rinse it really, really well. Once you got it clean, I mean, you don't have to do anything to it, but just kind of maybe break it into smaller pieces, chop it up a little bit, and put it in and serve it with whatever you're serving it with. In this case, we're just gonna chop it up just a little bit and put it in the mignonette for the oysters. The hardest job of a chef is to like keep it simple, because we want to overdo things, and it's just keep it simple. Let the food speak for itself, especially food sourced like this.
So Mike, I haven't seen you do anything with the oysters yet. What's up with that?
Yeah, so you know, Kainoa's shucking them outside, he's still going, and we're gonna make the mignonette. So we're gonna use rice wine vinegar. We're gonna put some onion, some green onion, some grated ginger, garlic, and then we're actually gonna use some of that olena.
Nice.
Yep.
And you pour it onto the oyster?
Yeah, you put it on the oyster, so it's like the salty and the sour kind of balance that it brings. Yeah.
Nice.
Feeding people is such a old thing, right? When somebody comes over to your house, you feed them. God, we got the nice table laid out for you guys right here. From beginning to end, there's only been a few hands that have touched this food. So to serve that food, that mana, is really exciting.
Oh, we're getting down to crunch time. Guests are here, they're starting to arrive. I got everything ready to go, and now we're just going to bust it out and hope they enjoy it. Alrighty.
Aloha, you guys.
So here are some oysters from Moli Fishpond.
Kualoa Ranch.
Kualoa Ranch. This right here is basically like a rice wine mignonette, which has grated olena that we got from Papahana Kuaola, and a little bit of gorilla ogo in there as well. So this is just something else to go with the oysters. This is a cucumber and olena shave ice.
Dig in, you know, just scoop just like regular.
This is amazing. It's like so fresh.
Wonderful. They're absolutely delicious.
No, like I can do shrimp, but I don't do oysters, but this is amazing.
Alrighty, so this is next up. So this is like a play on vindaloo, basically like a curry. Ulu vindaloo with forbidden rice, and it's got a little bit of braised chicken thigh in there as well, and it's done with coconut milk, a little tamarind.
No. Really, really delicious.
Ulu is always wonderful. We never get it anymore, and I've never ever had it this way. It's just yummy.
This journey has been so amazing, and we've gone from Hawaii Island, now Oahu, and the whole idea of searching is not only connecting with the land, but connecting with all of these people that are doing this in their home, in their aina. And so who knows what's gonna happen next. It will continue to surprise me.
Find Chef Mike Lofaro's recipes and more information at searchhawaiitv.com.
Search Hawaii, where food meets culture, is brought to you by Ulupono Initiative, investing in a more sustainable Hawaii, and Grand Wailea, a Waldorf Astoria resort on Maui.